Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Deb C, and the place to be, it's Deb C. Boop, boop, that's me. Boop, Deb C. Hey guys, and happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having, let's put these glasses on. It hides my face a little more. Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. I hope everybody is having a great day and a wonderful weekend. You may see different jump cuts. Typically it is because I have to cough or sneeze, and I don't want to do that here in front of you guys. So I typically do that. However, today it's going to be because, do you see over there? Look, that right there, that, can you guys see it? I hope so. That is a pot of stuffed, that's in my house. That is a pot of stuffed pepper soup that is going. So I have to stir it every once in a while because I don't want it to stick. So I was going to do a video on that, but I was so hot I was so hot doing all of it that I was like, no, we're not going to do any of that. I'll do a taste test, but maybe on some other time. No, maybe I'll do something. It's not going to be of me making it, but maybe I'll share the recipe if it's any good. Okay, so listen, I'm gonna get right to the point eventually. By the title, you know that I watched episode 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu. If you're not watching it, what are you doing? Even if you watch it, it's garbage TV, it's trashy, but it's full of drama. There doesn't seem to be an episode that disappoints. So there we go. I was like, I thought I had something on my wrist, and I was like, what is that? It's nothing. It's a vein that we all have. Okay, so let's get right into it. This week's episode was called The Book of Truth. Okay, so the big event this episode is Macy's birthday trip. What could go wrong when you get everybody from Mom Talk together in a hotel room, in a lavish hotel? Well, it wasn't that lavish, but in a big suite and a big hotel room. And half the people don't like each other. What could go wrong? So Macy's like, listen, I'm really hoping that by the end of this trip, there's not going to be any drama. There's not going to be 2 separate teams here in Mom Talk, and everybody will be loving to each other. That's really doubtful, since Regina, aka Whitney, is saying on the way up that she's going to fight Taylor, who is pregnant. Great. Meanwhile, in the other car, because there's 2 separate cars, there's no Sprinter van, there's 2 cars, and they drive. They drive themselves. There's no drivers. Taylor is saying that she would really like to talk to Whitney and just find out what's your issue with me. We're gonna get to that. Hold on, I gotta stir the pot. And not like a real housewife, but really as a house person, a house lady. A house and not a wife, a house singleton. Hold on, un momento. Okay guys, I'm back. I had to add some broth. I had to stir the pot. So let's get back to the drama. Okay, so there's 2 groups. The first group that arrives at the hotel, I believe it was Taylor, Demi, that's how it's pronounced, Demi, Jesse, and Michaela. That's surprising. Michaela wasn't with the others. Okay. So Demi, however I pronounce it, Demi, I think that's how it is. Demi says her and her husband are having a little bit of a disagreement over the Fruity Pebbles incident. He's like, listen, this was supposed to be between us. Now it's out. I don't want to be a prude in the bedroom. So Demi feels kind of bad that she said anything, but she also says, listen, what Whitney did was wrong. It was tacky. And Michaela off camera said to producers, hey, Whitney, I've known Whitney a while. Whitney doesn't take accountability for anything. We find that out this episode. And she admits to the ladies, she's like, listen, if that was me, I would have sent a text if I wasn't going to the baby shower. She should have done that. So then the other ladies arrive. I thought this was nice of Whitney, but I think Whitney has ulterior motives. If somebody else did this, I'd be like, oh, that was really nice. Whitney, I don't think so. I think Whitney gave those mom talk sweats because she wanted the light to shine on her. I don't think she did it out of a kindness of her heart. I just don't think so. There was a little conversation with Jen and I don't remember who else, but Jen was like talking that she's the breadwinner. She's the one who's supporting the family while Zach goes to med school. And this is kind of causing a little bit of tension between the two of them. It was Jesse. And Jen and Jesse, they're talking. And Jesse says this off camera, that she thinks Zach is the one who made the decision for her not to go to the baby blessing. Okay, so Jen's talking about forgetting her garments. And I, in my mind, was like, do you mean garments like regular bra and underwear? Or do you mean like the magic garments, like Mormon magic underwear? Like, because I know that they have special underwear. So I was like, which one is it? Turns out it's regular underwear. I cannot relate to that because anytime I go anywhere, I overpack. There's two things I always overpack. I always overpack underwear and I always overpack socks. If I'm going away for 2 days for underwear, I will bring like 8 pairs of underwear. And you're like, why? Because what if something were to happen? And you're like, what could happen? That you would need like 8 pairs of underwear. I don't know. What if I need them? Same thing with socks. What if I need them? And I'll bring like maybe 1 extra bra. But I just can't relate to that. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back again. I have to babysit that soup. Okay, so the first night they're having the personal chef come in. And so everybody's getting ready. I gotta tell you, this episode showed me that, listen, Whitney needs help with a lot of things. She gotta get a stylist because literally both of these outfits that she wore on this episode were like straight from the depths of Mormon fashion hell. Because what in the little house in the prairie fresh hell is Whitney wearing to dinner? Because this was ridiculous. So they sit down, they have the dinner. Now listen, what comes next is a recipe for disaster on reality TV shows, particularly like Housewives and Housewives adjacent, because Demi is like, we're gonna play a game. This is the truth box, because that never goes wrong. And what we're gonna do, everybody is anonymously gonna write down a question for another mom talker. And we're gonna read it out. It's gonna be fine. Macy, your party's not gonna be ruined. Okay, so one of the questions was, Whitney, why don't you like Taylor? Are you jealous of her clout? I was like, ooh, okay. So before this, internally, Whitney's like, off camera, she's like, oh gosh, I'm freaking out. That to me means she's gonna lie. She's not gonna tell the truth. She's gonna lie. She gotta make something up. So she says, I'm not jealous of her clout. I'm just jealous because of the forgiveness that was given to her, but wasn't given to me. And I was like, what do you mean? What does she need to be forgiven for? So there was this RSV video. Here's the deal. 2 weeks after she had her son, Liam, her husband took him to the doctor's office and was found out that his oxygen levels were low. So took him to the emergency room. He had RSV. A little bit later, a few days later, Liam was feeling better and she was around the house with him. So she was like, let's have some fun. Let's pass the time and let's make a video on this. And it was a video where she was like, she was dancing. She was dancing and he was like just there and she's dancing. She's like, he had low oxygen levels, but he was diagnosed with RSV. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, what? Even me, I was like, what is this? This is weird. So, and people were coming after her that like were saying that that she was using her son for clout. We'll find out about that. To me it looked like it. And she's like, people were coming after me because of that. Meanwhile, Taylor was like off camera to the producer. She was like, are you fucking kidding me? I've been getting nonstop hate up until like now from everybody across the country about this swinging scandal and everything. So no, listen, not a lot of people have forgiven me. So no. Okay, so I'm back. This time is the last time that I'm going to have to do this because the soup is done. Everything is good. So we're done. We're off chef duty and I'm back. Okay, so the next question was for Taylor. The question, Taylor, if it comes out that Dakota lied and he did sleep with Jenna, would you leave him? She was unequivocally like 1,000% he would be dead to me and I would leave him. Yes. So background on this. Before Dakota and Taylor were officially dating, he slept with a woman and lied about it. Red flag there. Then went off with Jenna, and he said nothing happened between them. Do I believe that? I don't. Okay, the next question was for Demi. I think it's Demi. I think that's how they pronounce it. Demi. The question was, did you ever say Jen is too Mormon? And Jen said, I never said that she was too Mormon, but I did say that you bring it up a lot in conversation. Like you're always bringing up being Mormon in conversation. And then meanwhile, over there in the other corner is Whitney, smiling, laughing, like she thinks this whole thing is funny. I'm wondering about what's going on with that. I'm also wondering about what's going on with my hair. Listen, I just got it done yesterday and I got washed and everything and styled, and then I went downstairs and I cleaned the bathroom and I sweated on it. So I washed my hair and it is what it is. You guys don't watch my videos for gorgeousness. You watch it for goofiness. Not the first G, the second G, goofiness. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, Demi's like, she sees her over there laughing. She's like, oh yeah, it's funny to you because Whitney, you're the one who told Jen this about me. And then there was a flashback and shows her telling her. Demi says that she did say that, but she was more upset about the fact of who it came from. And then we find out that a 9, when she said I'm a 9, that does mean like, that does mean in strictness as far as like following Mormon rules and the Mormon church. Jen's frustrated that Demi didn't come to her and tell her about this. But she's notorious for doing stuff like this. Like when you called Taylor White trash. Okay, I don't know where I must have gotten mixed up here. So Jen is frustrated that she didn't come to her and tell her this. But I guess Demi's notorious for doing stuff like this. Like when she called Taylor White trash. And well, who told Jen that? That was Whitney. So here's the deal. Taylor was like, what do you mean? Why'd you call me that? She's like, well, I called you that because we were at that one party and you were flirting with my husband. We were flirting with Brent and I thought it was trashy. And Taylor was like, I wasn't doing that, but you realize I was a swinger. She's like, yeah, I didn't know that you were. So, And then Demi tried to get in there, and Jen was like, Jen tried to get in there, and Demi was like, shh, you shut it. And we're like, oh. And then all of a sudden, wait a second. And listen, who is loving all of this but the shit stirrer herself, Regina George, Whitney? Because that's what she wants to do. She wants to split this group up. She wants to take over. She wants to be the queen bee. This is how she thinks she's going to do it. Okay? So Taylor then is like, hey, listen, what else? Okay, so if I'm trashy, what else is trashy about me? And she just is like, So Taylor then asks, okay, so what else is trashy about me? Listen, here's the thing about Taylor. I'm going to say this. Has she made her mistakes? She has. Has she lived like a questionable life in the past? Sure. But everybody has made mistakes. She really is taking accountability, and she's trying to change, and she's moving on. So I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with Taylor. As a matter of fact, at the beginning, I thought that the villain was going to be Taylor. Actually, Taylor might be one of my favorite people in this group, just because of the fact that she is showing that she's making changes, she's taking accountability, and she's trying to move on. So Demi says that she thought that Taylor's TikTok videos about the swinging they were flippant, they were trashy because they were real flippant about it. But listen, after that came out, weren't all of them making those kind of like videos where they're making fun of it? Yes. Did they all get views from it? Yes. So if she's trashy for that, then all y'all are trashy for it. Taylor's really hurt by the fact that Demi called her that, because Demi knows like she's trying to really work through this. So for her to bring that up, it did hurt her. But if we're going to be bringing up all of this, then let's just air our grievances out. Let's get everything out between Taylor and Demi. So Taylor was like, don't you think it's trashy for you to take off your dress right in front of Dakota to get mic'd up? So apparently, and Dakota was uncomfortable by it, because apparently they had to get mic'd up, and she allegedly just dropped her dress in front of Dakota, and she's just standing there in like her bra and underwear. And Demi was like, well, I didn't do it on purpose, and I didn't do it on purpose for any reason. And Taylor was like, so if I did that in front of Brent, you would be okay? She's like, I wouldn't care, but it would be different because you were a swinger. I'm really hoping that they drop this whole swinger thing. She's not a swinger now, so I hope they drop that, because Taylor is trying to move on from all of this. And Taylor was like, are they ever going to be able to move on past this? I don't think they are. I really don't think they're going to be able to move past it. So listen, at this point, Demi is getting real upset. Everybody's coming for her, but yet Whitney is over here causing all this drama, and no one's brought up any of this. Okay, so let's buckle up, because it's going to get even better, because Whitney is next. The question is for her. Who's your least favorite in the group and why? I know everybody was like, she's going to be Taylor. It's going to be Taylor. She says Demi. I can't even remember why. I didn't even care, because I can't stand Whitney. So it was Demi. And the box is done. That was a nightmare. It always is a nightmare when they want to play games. Okay, so everybody goes upstairs. They're separate ways. And Whitney and Macy are talking. Whitney feels like she was gaslit, and she said, like, why didn't you stand up for me? Okay, listen, if you guys hear any kind of Michael Jackson, I hope you don't, because I live a couple blocks away from, I'm going to be right back because I don't want to get copywritten for this. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Listen, I promise. Hopefully this is the last one. I live like a block and a half away from our football stadium, and it's youth football today. And the cheerleaders were probably doing their halftime, and they were playing Beat It, and I didn't want to get copywritten. Okay. So, okay, Demi talks to Taylor, and Demi was like, listen, that was an isolated incident, an isolated moment, and I wish that I would have just confronted you about it. And Demi apologized, which is something that Whitney would never do because she doesn't take accountability. Nothing's ever her fault. And it, to me, seems like Demi and Taylor are going to be moving on and they're fine. So it's the next morning. The girls are making a TikTok again. Everything seems fine. Everybody seems fine. So Taylor pulls Whitney aside and is like, I got to talk to you about this. That's what an adult is going to do, grown adult. She's going to talk about this. So they talk. And Taylor was like, listen, why haven't you told me what's going on? Why don't you like me? What's the issue? Whitney was like, well, listen, what did she say? Wait a minute. Whitney says that, first of all, I didn't go to the baby shower because I don't think we're that close. We're not close. So that's why I didn't go. Okay. Even so, you could have sent a text message and let her know, hey, I'm not going to be there. So, Whitney says that after this swinging scandal, she had Taylor's back and she was really trying to further this friendship, but Taylor did not reciprocate it back. She feels like Taylor just has not been there for her. The ladies, meanwhile, downstairs, the ladies are talking about Whitney. And someone says that they feel like Whitney is comparing herself to Taylor, and she isn't living up to the hype that Taylor is getting. It's jealousy. I don't buy anything that comes out of Whitney's mouth. I think she tells everybody what the real deal is, and then she don't tell the person that she's having an issue with. So Demi says that she's off camera. She's like, I'm seeing all the puzzle pieces come together. I know what kind of person Whitney is, but Jen and Macy just haven't seen it yet. And if they have seen it, I'm saying if they have seen it, they just refuse to acknowledge it. Demi says that after her and Whitney got done with their ketamine treatment, so I guess both of them went in for like ketamine treatments. Whitney said to her, hey, listen, I made that RSV video for views and for likes and for clout. And she's like, and as a matter of fact, told the ladies this, and says, as a matter of fact, I might even have a video of it, of her admitting that. So she's lying. She's lying about that. Back upstairs, listen, Whitney starts crying. Whitney starts crying and everything. And I feel like at this point, though, maybe this might be going okay. Whitney's crying to try and get some sympathy. Demi, meanwhile, Demi's not having any of this. Demi is like off camera. She's like, she's great at gaslighting. And then she flips the script to become the victim. Like when she sees that things like there's chaos and people are going to be coming for her, then she flips it so that she's the victim. So Demi's like, I'm going to set the record straight at all costs. I'm going to head upstairs. Whitney is talking to Taylor still, and she's like, hey, I don't feel like I got any support from you when I came out and admitted the Connor was lying and he's out on Tinder sending naked pictures, which, by the way, listen, he was like, okay. In the first episode, she was like, Connor is on Tinder. He has a porn addiction. Okay, that right there I don't consider, first of all, I do consider that cheating. If you're sending naked pictures and you're getting naked pictures from someone, that is cheating. That, number one, that is cheating. And number two, for me, a porn addiction, that's not a porn addiction. When I think of porn addiction, I think of people having like an addiction of like looking at it and watching it. It's not on Tinder. So he was cheating. Don't be acting like he wasn't cheating, because he was cheating. So Demi, so they're talking about all that, and then Demi asks, well, why do you think this? Why do you think she isn't, she's not supporting you? And off camera, Whitney was like, why is she here? Why? This is between me and Taylor. Because she's tired of your shit. Because she wants somebody to call your shit out. That's why. She says, well, Taylor doesn't care about me. How do you know? You don't know that. You don't even talk to her. Taylor doesn't care about me. And Taylor was like, I didn't even know that this was a problem. How was I supposed to know? If I knew, I could work on it. She was like, I don't want you to work on it. Obviously you don't. She's saying, I want you to work on it because I don't want to be friends with you. Taylor, don't try and be a friend for her. She's a shitty ass friend. She talks behind everybody's back. She's talking about you. You don't need that kind of person in your life. So Demi gets in there even further. She brings up the fact that like Whitney talks shit on behind everyone's back. And don't you know, then she had the nerve to be like, well, I'm telling Taylor now. The reason why you're telling Taylor now is because Taylor confronted you about it. Because she talked to you about it. You were going to hide it and run and hide and not talk and then talk behind her back. And then all cocky like, didn't she say about this whole telling Jen about what Demi said? Wasn't she like, well, I would do it all. I would say it again. I would tell Jen all again. I don't have any regrets about that. Oh, you don't have any regrets about that. And then goes and deflects it by being like, didn't you call Taylor white trash? And then runs away crying. No, she's acting all hard until everybody's realizing what's going on. And then she got to play the victim and run downstairs and hide in the laundry closet. Get the hell out of here. But to me, she's not giving up. She is not giving in. She goes downstairs. She's like, listen. And everybody's like, hey, can you give her some grace? Can you back off? She's really upset. And Demi was like, what was this energy for me? When everybody was ganging up on me, what about this? Where was Whitney? Whitney was sitting over there laughing and smiling and laughing and thinking that her little plan to split everybody up into some two groups so she could lead as leader of the Mean Girls, that would happen. And that's when Whitney said it. Or that's when Demi said it. Listen, Whitney gets close to you until she gets what she wants, and then you're gone. And Whitney calling Demi two-faced, like she called her two-faced off camera, like to the producer. That's more than a bit hypocritical, seeing as how you do the same to everybody. And listen, Demi admitted, and she said, I shouldn't have done that. Meanwhile, wasn't Whitney upstairs saying, I would do it all again? I don't think I did. She didn't think she did anything wrong. So happy birthday, Macy. It's your weekend. Your birthday weekend is super shitty. But here's something that I didn't realize. Macy said that Whitney is her best friend. I didn't know. I really would have thought that Taylor was her best friend. I guess we don't know. Once again, the ladies go to dinner, like out at a restaurant. What in the hot, fresh hell was that outfit that Whitney was wearing? Somebody needs to get her a stylist. So they're sitting there, they're at dinner. It was just a night. And Taylor's tired as shit. She's pregnant. She's about ready to burst, it looks like. But she's like, I'm gonna power through for Maisie. It's her birthday. Let's give her a nice birthday. Meanwhile, here's Whitney over here on the other side of the table, low-key crying, trying to make herself look like a victim. She's like, I'm fine, I gotta go to the bathroom. She goes over, she's talking to the producers. They need a nurse to help her out with that outfit. She's talking to the producer. She's like, I don't know that I can do this. Everybody is sitting there and smiling and so happy, and I'm in hell, and I don't know if these women are really my friends. So they were sitting on the floor with you, comforting you, and they're not your friends. Okay. And Macy at the table, Macy's like, listen, she feels bad. She probably feels bad about what she said, but she doesn't feel bad about what she says, because she says, I don't think I was in the wrong. She don't feel bad because she don't think she did anything wrong. She said it. So she gets herself all together, we know she goes to the bathroom because she brings out the cake. This cake, listen, she was trying to get to be the, like center of attention again. She brings out this cake, and the producers did her dirty, and I'm glad they did, by showing that she had some toilet paper stuck on her shoe. And so they blow out candles and everything. She's like, off camera, she's like, I don't know if I can ever trust these women again. I think it's going to be the downfall of her. I have not gone on TikTok and on social media to see what's going on with them. I'm going to have to, because I hope it's her now. I hope it's her downfall. I don't like her at all. Okay, so listen, if you watched, in the comments, let me know what you thought. If nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard. Please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world, so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Be aware of your surroundings. Be safe. Hydrate often. If you're someplace where there is danger, whether it be weather-related or not, please be mindful, be smart, be safe. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Everybody have a great day and a great rest of the weekend. Bye, guys.